Just like no two fingerprints are the same, so also marriages differ one from another. No one can give you a blueprint of what would make your marriage strong and abiding. However, you can learn from the experiences of others, fine-tune the rough edges of your own marriage, and avoid some pitfalls that would otherwise take you unawares and perhaps leave an irreparable dent on your union. Today's love story has all the trimmings of a fairy tale, only that it is a real-life fairy tale. My name is Uche Macaulay. Here is Nneka and Isaac Moses' love story.
The set of a home video called Love in Vendetta.
Wanting letter.
Yeah, it was just going on gradually. It wasn't planned, like I said.
We set out to have fun.
Yeah.
And we're still having fun.
That's the whole idea.
And we just happen to be in love.
Gradually, you just find out that, yes, you want to be with this lady. You want to be with her. Mm-hmm. Because when she's not there, you remember her. You want to
when she's not there, there's a vacuum.
When she's not there, there's a vacuum.
Yeah, that makes me feel good.
Her, so that way, you just know that, yeah, perhaps you're falling in love. And you say to yourself, maybe this is the love.
Happy?
Yeah. Because it's, I don't, well, yes, that's what you call love at first sight, but I don't think that was the case. No, it's not. But eventually, we got married, and we're still living it out.
When I actually realized, I didn't think he was a marriage material anyway. So this guy is fun to be with. Okay, let me make the most of it and move on with my life. That was my game plan.
Yeah.
So if we have an appointment and he doesn't show up, it doesn't really matter because after all, he's just there for us to have fun. So I don't take it seriously. I don't even consider if he had to go out with another girl. It didn't bother me. It wasn't important.
I can't say there was a particular time, but I just found out that as we were going on, I was having, because I had a lot of engagements with, well, not engagements, encounter with ladies, and they had a particular mannerism, when you fail to meet up to setting expectation, or you were supposed to come last night, we're supposed to go to this club, or we're supposed to go to this party or that place, and you don't show up. They assume one thing: you didn't show up because you took another lady out, not because they don't even bother to ask you why couldn't you make it. Was it that maybe it could have been a job that came my way, but she, fortunately, doesn't fall in that category. If we have an appointment, or a date, and I don't show up, she won't ask me, why didn't you come yesterday? What happened? She won't ask me that. So it's me that went, maybe it was good for her, maybe, and that she went out with that person. Perhaps. No, just some assumption, but I liked it. I didn't bother. It's okay, cool. I think she's fun to be with. She's stress-free. Good.
Yay!
Yes.
I realized that the more time we spend together, the more time I want to be with him. When we started, it was like we met today, we went out that weekend, 2 weeks again, we went out then that weekend. Then before you knew it, it was every weekend. Then before you knew it, it's like every day. He has to see me every day.
Nothing was guaranteed.
Nothing was guaranteed.
Because you know how it is. I was staying in a hotel. So, and the day she came there, she told me if I don't get a house or go rent an apartment, that she won't come. And I said, why? What's wrong with this place? And then I considered, getting an apartment is a lot of stress. You need to pay 2 years rent. I don't have that kind of money. But it was very convenient. Pay daily in the hotel. That's the way I saw it. Every day I get to work. I make some money. I pay part as my rent in the hotel. The rest I can blow. Waiting for the next job, which certainly comes. So I didn't think her request made sense. I felt, when I didn't get to see her, it's okay, let me just go to their house and find out, waiting. So, and I went to their house. That was the second time after the shoot we had, and one thing led to another.
He proposed now.
Proposed? Will you marry me?
He didn't kneel down to ask you. He was lying down when he asked. We were both lying down when he asked. He didn't kneel down.
So it was They're unusual. Very unusual. I mean,
Yes. Sacrifice. Because there are times I don't want to, for instance, cook, I'm tired. But because I know that he will feel better if he had something like this or that, I go the extra mile. So going the extra mile, sacrifice. And another thing is being open. I'm very open with him, and I know he's very open with me, because that's what I've felt all these years.
Yeah. And me, if you ask my opinion about what keeps a relationship going, I'll say, yes, being open. A lot of guys don't feel it's okay to let your woman know how much you earn. Let her know what she should know. The rest should be. But it makes a woman make requests that you're not always ready or willing to concede to.
Or even able to.
Mm-hmm. So I'm of the opinion that if she knows what you earn, she's not going to make requests that are outside of your earnings. And because most guys don't bring their woman into their earnings, there's always that conflict. There's distrust. The woman even feels that perhaps we spend more of that money outside with some other people or some other girls. So that distrust comes in. But if she knows what you earn, there won't be any of that problem. That's my take. So, me, I run a joint account. It's not the regular joint account. I can draw there. I can start to draw everything. She can also do the same. So it doesn't have to be until she signs and I sign
before the money comes out.
She can, if she writes a check and signs a loan, it's respected.
Yes.
If I do same, it's respected too.
Mm-hmm.
Now you see, when you eventually, if a man eventually agrees to marry a woman, even those things that are supposed to be seen as weakness, to you it's okay because those are the total package. You don't see it the way somebody looking at it from an independent source would view it and consider this, this is a weakness, or this is a strength, or an advantage, or whatever. For you, everything is part of the package. You enjoy it. You know, it's because you can't change any part of her. So you learn to love it. Love her in totality. And that way you don't find any because anything you consider a weakness, if the weakness becomes recurrent, you'd see it's going to actually put a very big strain on the marriage. So it is better both weakness and strength be seen as a total package, which no one brings the marriage down in any way. It's like it's all a plus.
Please don't let Isaac price anything in the market. Something I'm sure I can get for 100 naira, he's going to end up buying it for 300 naira. And I don't like that because that's wasteful. Then another weakness with him is don't ask him for money when he has it because you get it. It doesn't matter if I'm the one asking or you or anybody.
Wasteful.
No, when you can get Isaac will say to me, see now, how much is the total thing this person is selling that you're pricing him? If you go to supermarket now, will you price it? If she says it's 800 naira for a bottle of peanuts, just pay her. You can afford it. Madam, come over to my window. Take. That's
the thing is, if I feel I'm getting value, I won't bother so much about how much I'm paying. But where I feel that I'm being ripped off, I won't pay, even if it's 1 naira extra. I won't.
The thing is that
so it's not
the things you don't like,
yes,
it becomes a rip-off.
Exactly.
And again, when he doesn't have money in his pocket, almost everything is a rip-off. Any amount you tell him is too expensive. but once he has money, he's like, then we're passing the gates at the office. He said, these boys, they take care of this estate. Hey, come. Put his hand, gives. So I said, but we pay them salary. He said, no. See, God has been great to us today. Let's share some. So after a while,
these guys would almost wave you. They keep the salute. The salute is too much. So you have to show something.
Then I tell you another weakness. If he doesn't have money in his pocket and you're greeting him like that, he's angry with you. He feels, what's wrong with these people? Why they greeted me? I've passed here like 4 times today. They keep greeting. These people piss me off. That's Isaac. I said, but remember last week You get the same greeting and you actually paid for it. So why is it a problem? And I said, "Nera pay farmer." You know, so.
These things. It's a matter of.
But see,
Yes.
I've, like you said, I just learnt it. I've grown to love you, the total package. So even when you do it, I just laugh. I say, Zach.
Yeah.
So when there's money in your pocket, I say, these guys are in for. We get there, you're already. I know you, so I take it and I like it.
It's all good. It's all good. No man does anything that would adversely affect his marriage deliberately. Yes, certainly not deliberately. I tell you, nobody goes out of his way to break up his marriage. Don't you think? Because if the person doesn't want it, then you put your cards face up.
Face up.
And let him know. Say, look, I'm not happy with this. Like sometimes.
But he never lets me know. I've had each times when we come home, I feel everything is okay. We go up, we eat. He said, "Ne, but you fucked up." I said, "What did I do?" He said, "You shouldn't have said this." I said, "Oh, did I?" He said, "Yes, you shouldn't have. It's not necessary." I said, "Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. You know, it skipped my mind." And then that's it. That's the end. We move on to. In fact, there are times he will tell me that later I'll start sulking. He'll be like, "Is everything all right?" I'll say, or I won't answer him. Say, "Oh, because of that thing, I beg you, go and bring a bottle of wine." We try and we make sure, without forcing ourselves, we go to bed happy.
You see, I don't take things to heart.
He doesn't. That's the big thing.
So whatever it is, I can move on.
Whatever it is.
But if you cook a meal, maybe it's too salted, over-salted, or too pepperish, or not enough pepper, the type that when I eat, I feel like
that would piss him off. If you cook food and it's not right, it pisses him off.
I don't mind it outside. Somebody does it outside, no problem.
Yes.
Because you don't have me in mind when you cook.
When you cook,
so I don't take offense. But in my house, I feel why there's not enough pepper.
In this kitchen, you can't afford to make a mistake.
So, but it's not as if when you make that mistake, I let it show. I don't like.
But he eats it. He tells me, "This soup is not good at all." I say, "What happened?" Forget you oversalted it. He will tell you exactly what it is.
Because mealtime.
But that rarely happens, though.
It should be your best. It should be one time. The time you sleep, the time you eat your meal. You don't want any. Any
complaint.
Yes.
I think that's the only time. But he's not saying it and forcing. He's not even going to say, "I won't eat." He will be eating it and he will be complaining. And then, if I now make the mistake of maybe if it's a time when my relations are here, they came visiting for the weekend, so I let one of them help me make soup or do something, and then something goes wrong. All he knows is me. He's eating it, he's complaining. Now, the bad thing I would try doing is to let him know that someone else cooked it. And he'll be like, "But why? Why should somebody else cook my food? You know how I like it." Now, if I would ever say someone else made it, probably he will stop eating. But I'll take the blame. I'll say, "I'm sorry. I don't know what happened though." Then he's okay. Say, it's okay, baby. Just make sure it doesn't happen again. So, he's really an easy guy to live with. He's very easygoing. No, he's very easygoing, honestly. That's the truth. I'm not flattering.
That's the truth. So many. There was a time when the US for over 3 weeks, and Nneka always thoughtful. Packed some dry fish, some egusi, granulated, and we crayfish. We talked some nice home food in the US. Oh boy.
I made you some semo.
Yes, some semo. Went to the Jamaican market and bought semo, and wow, that was nice. At least,
some home feel.
Shift from regular American meal, and that was wonderful.
Let me tell you off the top of my head, if we came home today and I told him I feel something, I say, "Hey, are you sure? Are you okay? Do you want to come and lie down?" And this is a marriage that is going on 20 years this year. He would rather, okay, you know what? He will tell you he's tired too, but let him buy food outside. Or do you feel like we'll go eat out? Or do you want me to make you something? I say, "What can you make?" I say, "No, you don't know how to cook, you don't." Or if I accept, he will willingly cook. And then the other good thing about him is that once I'm in the kitchen cooking, most likely he's coming to sit down, he'll be gisting me, we'll be talking, cooking. So the Meal time, the kitchen time is always like family time. The other time he was telling me, because we are yet to put air condition all over the house, we need like 11.
Yes.
So I asked him, where do we start from? He said, maybe we should put AC in the kitchen first. Because, we're always here together. So in this house, as big as it is, we spend more time in the kitchen together and then in the bedroom together. The rest of the house, we always like pass through. So a man that spends that much time with you, and remember, we share the office together. So we're there together in the car. For his own selfish reason, he makes sure we are in one car always together. If he has somewhere to go, then his itinerary has to be my itinerary. And my itinerary has to be his itinerary. We rarely, go different ways at any point in time. So we're together during the daytime. We come home, I'm whipping up something in the kitchen. He's there with me. When we're done, we go up together. So yeah, he's generally a sweet guy.
Yeah, like Shakespeare said, good reason must of force give place to better. I'm not a chauvinistic male. If you give me a good reason why your opinion should stand, I'll back down. I mean, it's not a big deal.
And on my own part, because I know that if I explain my point of view, package it like I'm going to make a presentation to a client, because I actually do, I'll tell him, see, this thing we're talking about, point 1, point 2, and these are my reasons. And at the end of the day, this is what I think will come out of it. And this, you wait. You ask me a few questions, then you say, you know what? Okay, let's go with that. So he always gives me an opportunity to air my view. Then he now takes the final decision. But depending on the way I want it to go, I prepare my own presentation to make sure I convince him beyond reasonable doubt that this is what we should be doing at this time. And most times, the times he didn't listen to me, in certain, he didn't like the result. Like when I'm intuitive, Abby?
Yeah.
When we were at Eric Mall, I came into the office, he was discussing with one man. I stood for a while and left. Then when the guy left, I asked him what he wanted. He told me the guy wanted to sell shares or something. Wanted to make him buy shares. I said, yes, we'll buy shares. Yes. I said, but I don't want you to do it with him. He said, no. Do you know him from anywhere? I said, no. But please don't do it. My spirit just don't accept that man.
Yeah.
And Isaac said, but he was cordial. He's nice. I said, perhaps, but my better mind says, let's not do it with him, but do it with someone else.
Yeah, it turned out the guy was a fraud.
Yeah. So what he did was, instead of investing, say, 1 million, for example, he cut it down to like a little bit less than half.
It was 300. I put 300.
He now put 300, and he lost the whole money.
Yeah.
So, you know why he didn't listen to me then? Because I couldn't back up my argument with...
Yes, you couldn't just see a person.
Yeah, with anything tangible.
Yes,
with him,
so.
You have to be logical. This, that. If I had said, oh yes, I know him, he has duped this person and that person, then he wouldn't do it. But all I was saying is that my better mind says, no, just don't do it, just don't do it. And with Isaac, no, you don't tell him exactly what to do, but just don't do it. I don't want you to do it. No, you have to convince him and tell him why he shouldn't. Isaac, you'll be in the room watching a very good movie. He rushes in at you and tell you it's Premier League. As he's taking it, baby man, you like this. You know it's Premier League season. I'm like, please wait. The movie is about, please don't do this. He said, no, Charlie, just wait. Give me. He's not even looking at my face. He doesn't even know if I'm pissed. And he has already changed it. And he's holding the remote. And he's balancing in front of the TV like he's about to jump in. And at that moment, I feel like, because it might just be, imagine if you're watching something like, what's that love story? Leonardo DiCaprio, and maybe he's about to die and you're like, oh my God, he doesn't care when it comes to Premier League. And at times like that, I just feel like, you know what I do? I just leave the room. And then, when I leave the room, I'm not going to talk to him when he's done watching it. Or when he's going to look for me to hold me and shake me. So when he's looking for me all over, I'll go and hide in the toilet and lock the door. He won't see me to hug or shake. All those short-term malice, when he does that Premier League thing, I won't talk to him for the rest of the day. He gets me back on track now. He will even forget he did it. That's the most annoying thing.
Yeah.
He will forget he annoyed you. He will continue as if nothing happened. Then I'll try to squeeze my face more so that he understands I'm angry. And he's like, what is it? Why is your face like this? Did you lose money? Did something happen? Then I'll now tell him, hey, it's that time now. You changed my channel. Oh, okay, what movie was that? Let me buy it for you so you can watch. So yes, that's how I get past it. And yes, he surprised me into our marriage. When I met him, he's a guy that goes clubbing too much. He hangs around with friends. See, once you see him, you see some of those his friends then. What are their names? Chidimokeme, Ramsey Noah, Chiego Arinze, Hank Anuku, JT Tom West, Reward James. These are the group, the pack. He moves with them from this club to that club. So, and that's why when I saw him, I just knew this is not married material. But at least with this group, you have a lot of fun. So I was just having my fun. Now when we got married, it's the same him that called me and told me that this is a different ball game. If you invite him for any of those night outs and I can't come, he'll tell you, okay, no problem, I'll catch up with you, I'll be there. But he wouldn't come, he wouldn't go. I said, I thought they said you guys are going. I said, no, forget that thing. I love spending time with you. You invite him for bachelor's night and you're not supposed to bring your wives. Most likely, he won't come to your bachelor's night. So for me, that's a big surprise because I never expected that. And even my people told me, some of my people call him a musician. They're going to marry a musician.
People in the East, they see you on TV. You're as good as a musician. The fact that you appear on TV, you're a musician.
Everybody that truly loved me in my family,
musicians are not taken seriously.
Told me it's not a wise move to marry a musician. I told them he's not a musician. He said, whatever you call it, he's on TV. Obrondianis on the show business. Obrofa. No. So it was a no for everyone. But I went there because I was having fun. And I wasn't expecting the marriage to last forever or for 1 year. It was just like, you just do something instinctively, the way you're feeling about it at the time. So I just said I can't rob myself of this feeling because of fear. That's why when he asked me, what am I afraid of? It's hard to say. It's fear itself that I'm afraid of. So I feel so good with him. I love to listen to him talk. People even told me that he'll be beating me. So I said to myself, the way I feel about this guy and with this guy when I'm with him, I'm not going to trade that, for anything in the world. Not for the fear of what will happen tomorrow that hasn't happened today. Let me enjoy it today and let tomorrow take care of itself.
Right now, we have only one car. We share it. We have an office. We share. We share one bedroom. We share most
in this house, I have 2 bedrooms, by the way. I have my bedroom and our bedroom. So I have 2. He has 1. Really, the truth is that we didn't set out to say we will have to be together all the time. No. But I think you set the ball rolling because immediately we got married. When you go do your voiceovers, you say I should come with you.
Yeah.
So I escort him to do his voiceovers. Then I realized that when he comes, I said, so where did they pay for, don't they pay for this? Oh no, he said till next week. So I said, so how do you know you get it next week? Where is the invoice receipt? He said, invoice? No, they don't do it like that. So I didn't talk to him. I printed an invoice. Since he wants me to follow him, I'll take invoice. When he finishes with them, I'll call the person aside. Because if I ask him, he won't tell me. I say, sorry, what's your name? All right. How much was the voice? What's the name of the... I'll put the details. I'll tell it and give the person... And tell the person to just write your name for me here. They do. I give the person and then they go to him and say, why is your wife doing this now? This is not how we do this thing before. Then he will even come to me and say, no, why are you embarrassing me? I say, if I will follow you now, let me be useful. Okay, you know what? Since I'm now your PA and all that, you'll be giving me 30% of voice. We bargained and arrived at a certain percentage. So I started getting paid for it. So for me, it's another business. So if you're owing him, that means you're owing you're holding back to my 20%. So I come after you, but then I wanted the legal documents showing that there was actually a transaction. So when I started doing, they didn't like it initially, but after a while, it became the norm.
Everybody embraced it.
Yeah.
And felt, wow.
People who didn't like me then, when they see me today, they say, with you, I knew that Isaac was going to go far because you know the joke. It's okay.
My idea of marriage with my dad and my mom, they're there. And over 50-something years, they're still there together. So, I see it as, that's what marriage should be about. You quarrel once in a while, you disagree here and there, but at the end of the day, my idea of marriage is really not, like my dad would, he does everything to please my mom, as far as he knows, right? And my mom, she does everything to please him, so as far as they know, and they're still together. They'll quarrel, yes, but I see it as an ideal situation. People, you get, with time, you get to learn each other the more, you get to understand each other the more, and, you correct if there were mistakes you made in the past, as you grow older, you begin to correct it, and that's...
I can testify to that because you didn't know, but one of the things that made me feel lucky to be your wife is when you took me to Zaria to meet your parents. That day we arrived, your dad asked for a chicken, killed it himself, went into the kitchen.
Yeah.
He cooked. His father. He wasn't like, my wife, why you go and prepare something? He cooked for us. And I was like, wow. And the mother was just very jaunty all over us, looking me up, asking me to stand, sit, sizing me out, asking me questions. That's what she was doing while her husband was in the kitchen cooking for us.
Yeah.
With the assistance of his younger ones. So I said to myself, wow, that means if I get married to this guy, really, one day he too will be cooking in the kitchen and I'll be out there playing. So it was quite encouraging for me. And then there was one time when your dad came to visit. I think your dad or your mom, the first time really. So, and he asked for pounded yam, the dad. So I finished making the soup, I boiled the yam. When we're on our own, he pounds the yam. But it's a different ball game when his parents are around. At least, for the first time, I didn't know what to do. So the yam was ready. I brought out the mortar. They are talking and laughing in the living room. I opened the door hoping he would catch my eye. So I'll just tell him to come. It wasn't happening. So I said to myself, I have to pound this yam. And I really don't know how to pound yam. So the next thing, the dad called my name. Nkechi. He calls me Nkechi. And then he strolled into the kitchen. He said, where is the yam now? Is it not ready? Since. So I said, I'm planning to pound it now. He said, you? He makes you pound yam? So I said, no. He said, so why do you want to pound it? Oya Mechi, come here. Oya. He started pounding. I was standing. He was standing. We were talking and he was doing the pounding. I'm like, this is heaven.
Yeah.
So for me, those are the things that were my aspirations for marriage that I see that is being fulfilled, yes. The day we had Kamara was my happiest day. The day we both together walked into our house with our child. For me. Yes.
Yeah. It's a... Because for me, like I keep saying, I know a couple who had 3 children. Then on their way back from, I think, bringing the kids back from school, there was an accident, and all the children died, and they're left with just the 2 of them.
Yeah.
So I've always been of the opinion that children in marriage, beautiful, but it's secondary. You have to first love the woman. You have to find friendship in the woman. Then, it's just like money. When God blesses you, because it's not, if you marry somebody because of money, when the money is not there, then it won't work. So you first have to agree with that person, cherish that person, When money comes, it becomes a secondary addition. The same thing, when children come in marriage, it's a secondary addition. Because you have people who have children, yet they're not married. They have children outside wedlock. I have close friends, showbiz personalities who have 3, 4, 5 kids with different women, yet they're not married to any. And I say, boy, which one you can marry now? You say, what did they marry for again? Maybe to get children. I get children. You see, but that's not, at least companionship, for friendship, for, it's even respected, even in the holy books, So, children, to me, it's a wonderful thing when they come. Yes, because you have them, they make you happy, they increase they make you even more responsible. But when they are not there, what happens? They become grown up, they go to school, they get married, and you're still left with so you find out that the companionship you enjoy or you have with your spouse must be cherished. It's first and foremost the in thing, and every other thing is secondary. Children, money, whatever becomes secondary.
For me, I still think that the most challenging thing we face together as a couple is living together as a husband and wife for like 13 years. Without kids. That was very challenging, but he made it seem so easy because he wouldn't allow any form of pressure on my part. He wouldn't let his family or my family give me pressure over that. He wouldn't even let me pressurize myself. So even, how it feels for those people who have gone through or are actually going through what I have been through. When your monthly cycle comes round and you go to the toilet and your heart sinks.
Yeah, that's true.
Your heart sinks immediately. Then I come out. Once he takes a look at me, he'll say, your period is out. I'll say, yes.
You can tell.
And then he goes and says,
it's almost like a ritual.
And he said, is that why your face is like this? So I said, I'm tired of this. And he said, "Ne, come, Joe, let's resume work. Come and lie down here." If it's not that, listen, he said, if it's not this month, then it's next month.
Exactly.
What's your problem? He now gives me this example. He says, see, I don't know why you won't trust God. It's like going to the restaurant. You sit down, you order food. You know the food will come, don't you? I said, hey, it's a restaurant. He said, look, we have placed our order with God. So, we're seated.
Wait.
He will deliver. So stop bothering yourself. Yeah. Let us concentrate. See this few time or few years or few months or whatever it is we still have left as just the two of us. Let's enjoy it. Let's try and make money so that when the children come, we won't be under pressure or have to borrow money to pay school fees.
My uncle, he has only one child, a girl. He's passed on. Nobody put any kind of pressure on the wife. The pressure is actually sometimes you yourself, and you have perceived pressure. You feel, oh, people are going to be saying this, but yeah, there's bound to be gossips. But the truth is, like I keep saying, if children were the main basis for marriage, then the marriage doesn't have to be, because you can have children without being married. So when you decide to get married, it's for better, for worse. The woman in question, you have seen her and you feel, yes, this one would, she's it. You tap your chest and say, this is the woman. And then you be a man of your word. You go in there, make her as happy as you possibly can, because you find out that a lot of women, the problem is with themselves. Because there are no children, they feel so incomplete. They feel so downcast. When the monthly cycle is due, they go and at the point, I removed all the calendars in my house. You don't have calendars in my house. I don't want any more markings, this is the time you should meet. Oh, and then when that time, for real, when that time is there, you probably don't even feel like it. It won't work. Your manhood will refuse to respond. And then you're like, this kind, look, this. That's when you really get, infuriated. You don't want to be told when to and when not to. No, that's not the deal. For me, I don't want that. I can't operate like that. When the right time comes, it's not something you plan. And eventually, it happens. It would happen. I'm telling you. If you are patient enough, trusting God, because it's actually God that makes these things happen. You see couples, you go to the hospital, doctors would poke and poke. You begin to pity your woman. You feel for her. Because we guys, when you go to see a doctor, the guys don't go through much. It's the women, and you don't like it. They tell you, oh, there's this doctor in Egypt. You say, she'll tell you, okay, let's go. All your money is saved, you people go there. They say, there's this one in London. If you don't go to see my see, you are the one not letting it happen. So you just, for peace to reign, because the woman at that time, she's such shock-fused. She's, almost very insecure. She feels insecure. So you want to do everything. You don't have a savings. Any money that comes in and somebody tells her about one doctor somewhere in some part of the world, you guys are going there. Yes. So before you know it, until you have exhausted every suggestion, and you say, okay, see, let's wait on God. This thing is not by force. It's not doctors who do it. Wait. Let's enjoy ourselves like normal.
And that's when it really happens.
Exactly. Take your mind off it. Don't mark anything on the wall and compel the man to come and do it that time. That's the truth. That way, I'm telling you, it will just happen naturally. And when it happened, she didn't even know.
Yeah.
She thought it was menopause. Oh, okay. Can't say doctor. So these things are not something you force over. I'm telling you, those things are what causes it. Your metabolism, or I'm not a doctor, but I know that it has a way of affecting your system, the woman's psyche, and it's not happening.
And the worry,
all these things take its toll.
the sadness.
That's it.
I don't have the recipe, but what works for us is, like I said about food, for instance, on my own part, if he wants to eat it, I make sure I make it available. So it's not always usually about me, what I want, when I want. And the same thing goes for him. There are times it's coming from my end, he makes it happen. And there are times we're both fagged out. There are times we're both not in the mood.
Of course.
And we just let it be. We can watch TV. And there are times we feel like, we should celebrate. This is our anniversary.
Mm-hmm. You see, for me, I say it like it is. You find out when you're married when two people are in marriage, over time, at the early stage in the marriage, you guys are almost, you want to make love almost every now and then. Every day. Over time, at least the frequency reduces. It's not as frequent as the early days. So that way, you are not as, you're not the man you used to be back then, but still, you have fun. But it's not as regular.
No, you can't be that regular, because
that's the truth.
You have other worries, responsibilities,
exactly.
Work pressure, so many things come in. So early days, yes, every day, every other day. Yeah. Then you reduce it to weekly. Then sometimes you find there's a period you're going like,
You see the kids take their own turn.
Yes, like now, there are times you prepare and Kamara comes, I want to sit in the middle. And then you say, okay, when he sleeps, then by the time he slept, one of us has already slept. So you just take it as it comes. We don't have a schedule or kind of timetable, but we work with it as it comes.
Of course.
We take it as it comes, yeah. But the good thing is that we are open to each other.
And sometimes again, when you're outside of your regular environment, you are in one posh hotel in Addis. Wow, this hotel is cool. Wow, you know, those things, you know, can bring back some memories, and you just see you guys already, you know, romping.
Then he'll say, "Let's baptize this place for them."
Yeah.
If I say I love you, like when I tell him that, I'm saying it with a deep sense of responsibility, because I'm talking about the whole of him. It's not because he's tall and handsome. What I'm saying to him is that even if you lost these two legs, I still love you. So you see that love goes beyond the physical look. It's like somehow I feel like I've reached out and I'm holding his soul. I can feel him. I know Isaac without seeing him. I know Isaac. It's not about what you're looking at. You understand? So I am holding that so dear, and whatever it is that has to do with him affects me. It's not about the house or the money or the voice and all that. It's him now. It's him, the him that perhaps God created before he wrapped him up in this body. That's what I was able to connect with. And that's what I'm holding on to, because what comes out of there is a lot of goodness that has also helped to shape me over the years and made me believe that really love exists, but love is not it's not physical for me.
Life is never boring, because the shoots within Nigeria, outside Nigeria, together, I mean, the tours, it's fun. I mean, there's no dull moment, really, if you ask me. There's no dull moment.
Our work is more like the spice in our marriage, because every weekend, last weekend we came back from Ekiti.
Yeah.
You know, this weekend, thank God, we now finally have a Saturday to ourselves. You know, next weekend there's always something.
Yeah.
So we're not bored. Sometimes we beg to catch our breath where we can just stay home, just us. So we're not bored at all.
And that kind of keeps the relationship, you know, alive.
We're travelers, and like I told you, I love to have fun, lots of it. The year we got married and lost our first child, they say I was in a coma for like 4 days. And by the time I came round, I was lying down, he was kneeling down, holding my hands, praying and crying. So I thought I had died. So the movie that came to my mind was Ghost. So I said, oh my God, I'm dead. And he's crying over my body. So I said, okay, let me try touch him and see if he will react. So I raised my hand and I put it over his head, and he looked and said, you are awake, you are alive. That was something. When I play, there's nothing he will do to me. When I play that back, I'm like, this guy loves me, Sha.
And I don't want that memory.
For me, I hold on to that, because that memory kind of showed me my back. You know, you don't know what happens when you pass. But for me, that was like, I actually thought I was dead. Yes. I can't make a better choice.
Because it's very hard for you to actually find someone, giving another chance. You still want to spend your time with such a person. Yes. Because, you see, I recall back then, sometimes I come to her shop. Maybe one lady has torn my shirt. Maybe she wants me beating up because I didn't shop as agreed. Well, you know, try to make me give reasons, and I won't give reasons. I want to just go, and they draw your shirt. Which on a good day was my friend that I know would turn a backhand and lash out. The lady would really get a few tips down, you know, but I just grab my clothes like that and leave. So I come to her shop and say, could you please mend this for me? Is it possible, since you're into fashion and all that? It's okay, sure. And she hands me something to wear while she does that. And that's fine by me. No questions, though. No question. What happened? I don't get all that question. So it saves me the embarrassment of having to explain how I got my shirt turned and all that, So you say, that's the lady, and you're glad that, you know someone like that, and after a while, nobody told me anything. I dropped a lot of associations. I just stopped. And that's it. And became a man. Don't get married for the wrong reasons. Make sure you're marrying a woman or you're marrying a man whom you love, whom you really, outside every other thing, you still choose that person. Outside of money, outside of fame. Because you see, some couples get married for the wrong reason. Oh, because he's famous or she's famous, you marry him. And you forget you're not marrying the real him. The fame is what comes from what he does. The fame came along and you fell for the fame because other people talk about this same guy and the fame attracted you. Well, that's the wrong reason, because that fame will not last forever. So when you marry a man, or vice versa, for the right reasons, because you love him, because you can tolerate him, because you can stand him or her, because you want companionship, then every other thing would just make your love or your bonding even stronger.
I truly don't have a recipe for those that are going through a rough part in their marriage, but I've been through a rough part in my marriage when we were looking for a child. And I think the best thing that worked for us was to stay focused and keep it just within us. Because when you begin to bring in a third party, they have their own ideas, they have their own advice, and people can't give you what they don't have. The advice they will give you is based on what they know and how they think it should be, which might not really work for you. That's why I said there are no recipes. But tolerance, mutual respect, always talk to each other. No matter, once you stop talking to each other, then your marriage is beginning to fall apart.
And it's important that you're not afraid to say what's on your mind. Always talk, yes. Say what's on your mind. And above all, pray together. So when you pray together, you know where your wife, what she thinks, what she tells, what she asks of God. That way you get to hear her thought process. And if sometimes you ask her to lead the prayer, so you see what direction she's going. And sometimes you lead the prayers. By the time you guys find out that yes, you have a common goal. When she prays to God, she makes a request. When you pray, you also make the same request, that you know you are in sync. And I tell you, there's no way, if God would answer your prayer, He would answer her prayers. So, and most times He would answer both your prayers at His own time, though. So the thing is, where you would have problem is when you do not pray
Together.
Yes, that's where you'd have a problem.
And also, there's another thing. Some people feel that their marriage is like a display for others to see how fine is working. How it's not. It's about you and your guy, or about you and your babe. It doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter. It's about the two of you. If it works and you're happy in your marriage, it's both of you. If it fails, it's both of you. So it's not important what others think. And for those of you who would want to place the third person's expectations before that of the two of you, it's a big mistake. It doesn't matter if it's your mother-in-law, or your father-in-law, or your sister-in-law, or whoever, or your best friend. Both of you come first. For me, if Isaac says it won't work, it won't work. I don't care if you're my best friend. It doesn't matter if you're my mom or my dad, because this now is my life. And I won't trade it for another. So it depends on how important your marriage is to you.
Yes, your premium should be on your spouse. Yes, that's the truth. No, nobody else should matter above the both of you. Once you have that in mind, whatever it is you want to do, and don't do things without discussing it with your wife.
So
Discuss, talk. Don't take unilateral decision, because when things go wrong, both of you are going to hear it.
Yes.
Are going to feel it. So it's important that he is part of every decision making you make.
I know a lot of people like to take advantage of any couple who show a sign of disunity. You have the same sister or the same cousin, ask for pocket money from him, turn around, ask from you. You see both of you making donation into one purse the same time. He is giving 10,000, I'm giving the same 10,000 for the same cause we are paying for. But because we don't talk. But when you talk to each other, Charles wants 10,000. For what? But he told me the same thing. Then at the end of the day, maybe he says, okay, give him. I said, okay, my husband said I should give you the 10,000 you asked for yesterday. And I remember you asked me today, right? Yes, okay. This is it. He won't have the mouth to go to him again.
Yeah.
And that way you both save money that you can use to move your own cause forward.